I'm back here again. That was a interesting experience going out. I went to Central World and first of all went to the Big C. There was a delivery of noodles just as I got there, and boy, everyone just jumped on them. They were Thai noodles, so I just could get them. So, yeah, good advertisement for this company. Mama noodles, as opposed to Papa one. Paparazzi noodles. Yeah, so that was good to get those, and well, I mean, some people just dived in and took as much as they wanted. Felt a bit guilty, so I just took 2, and yeah, that was fine. I got some noodles already. Actually, amazingly, I got I found that chicken. So we got 10 eggs, which is a bonus. And I didn't expect that. But the other amazing thing was there was 4 bottles of water. That was at Central World, on the 5th floor by the cinemas, and a water delivery just arrived, and it was bedlam. I mean, it was people were so greedy. I couldn't believe it. I took 2 bottles at first. It was pretty early, so the place was just open. There wasn't many customers in there. There was one big, fat, greasy, woggy-looking woman, just aggressive, nasty, and selfish. You could just see it. And she filled up 2 trolleys full of water bottles. And I couldn't believe the supermarket didn't limit a certain amount per family. She just basically emptied as much as she could. It was really ugly the way she went about it. Just me. That's the sort of person that makes others panic. And makes you sort of like, when you're suffering, you haven't got water, and you see these people that it's amazing. Like, I've seen so many scenes where this flood has brought the best out of people, and it's terrific to see a sense of community. I mean, I helped at the Red Cross once, so just went down there to see what it was like. There was heaps of people there, and kind of a bit of a celebrity to be a Farang amongst them. So, I mean, maybe I'll help when it's not so popular to do it anymore. And it was nice to do it, and a great sense of community. But boy, with other people, especially when they're in panic mode, it's pretty ugly. I went back and I got 2 more bottles. So I thought, blow this. I'm not going to go crazy like the others, but just 4 bottles is just enough, and nothing's going to last me a month anyway. So if you're going to stay here, at some stage, anyone who stays here will need help from the outside. And if especially the power's off, the loo systems stop working, all those sorts of things break down, and perhaps if there isn't any deliveries from next door, then it'll be a national disaster. And I think that's when it would be, well, probably is appropriate already, to call in for international assistance. Prevention is better than cure. Failing that, then in case of emergency, you know, call America. Yeah, so it'd be nice if those ships came back and started helping out with water, and people are going to need it. It's amazing. Even when I was walking back with the 4 bottles of water, because that lady, she would have got her bottles in a car and driven home. But I was just walking back with water, and people haven't seen water in shops for quite a few days. So I got all these looks like I was carrying something like gold. I mean, you know, sort of you almost expect people want to, you know, get mugged for your water or something. It was amazing. It was just, I mean, I got 4 bottles of this Radiosa water, which I've never seen before at all. Radiosa, from Japan maybe? I wonder what glows in the dark. Anyway, so, but I ended up being hairy, looking like a Yeti in a couple of days. You know, it was where it came from. Yeah, nuke water. No wonder they could have it. It's a real toss-up whether you stay or go. It's a fine line between pleasure and pain. Sort of, in some ways, does this area flood? It seems likely it will. It's certainly not one of the lowest areas in Bangkok. So how long will it last? There's going to be a lot worse of provinces or areas within districts within Bangkok, especially near the Chao River, compared to here. That's for sure. And I guess everyone's fear is that lack of water and the dirtiness of the water. That's the sense of sewerage in the water. I think when we've seen the floods in the UTR and country provinces, you see people walking in it and it seems okay, but that is in the country, and yes, it might have chemicals in it, that's still not good. But the water that's now coming has got those chemicals in it from the north, which is picked up along the way. But it's going to have one heck of a lot of sewage in amongst it when it's in Bangkok. And I think that's one of the scariest things. So it's a tough one. It almost feels, the more I talk, and gee, I should be out of here. But I just think, oh, well, I can't imagine 12 million people somehow they're going to survive or get through it. If it's that much emergency, I think there'll be help coming in. So I will keep my ears to the ground. Really, really have to, I'll leave. But for the moment, I'm getting prepared to stay. And I think if the airport link is still working, I'm very fortunate. Even if I had to wade in water, it's a 10-minute, well, maybe with flood, half an hour walk to the station, and then once you're on the train, you're to the airport and you're out of here. So I can imagine it's be like a mass exodus. A friend of mine, Eva, she's from Canada. She left yesterday, called me from the airport, and said it was just like some sort of emergency sort of sense of high energy exodus. Just people absolutely bailing out of the country, turning up to the airport without a ticket, just going to the counter, get me a ticket, get me out of here. And she said it was just absolutely packed. And I have noticed today on the roads, they're much more quiet. There's far less traffic. So, and of course, all the surrounding sort of areas like Pattaya, Chonburi, Jomtien, Hua Hin are all filling up very, very quickly. So, and then to see that they were preparing sandbags around the Kempinski Hotel, which is beyond Town Paragon, and at the outside of the princess's estate, and that was amazing is the height of the level of those sandbags. Whereas yesterday they were pretty much just like 1 or 2 levels high. Now we're looking like 10 bags high in some of the spots. And there are a lot more shops are getting concrete walls put up at the front. Even at Panta Plaza, just across the road, has sandbagged, which is at the top of the steps. There's like 4 or 5 levels of steps before you get to that entrance level to Panta Plaza, and then that sandbag, 4 or 5 whatever sandbags high. So I mean that's like 2-meter type stuff they're allowed for. So it's ironic though, except for last night for a little bit of rain, it's been very, very dry. It's been very hot. It's almost as hot as it's been since I've been back from Australia in June. So it's sort of kind of odd that you just got this massive water coming, and yet it's become really hot again, which is bad timing because you need water. So I might pop out again soon. I was surprised I managed to get the things I did, because I say I got eggs, water, I've got some meat, certainly oyster sauce. That I thought there was one of the things I get easily, but there wasn't any. Not too tragic. I got bread, jam. There was, and in a lot of the pharmaceutical goods, those chlorine tablets, they're all gone. So yeah, I think if you get lucky, you get to a supermarket as they're having a delivery, and you might get some of those things. But anything that's really wanted, like those noodles, the water, as soon as it hits